Okay. So, tell me your name, where you're from.
My name is Allison, and I am from New Hampshire, but I am living in Florida right now.
And what do you do for a living?
I have two jobs, so I'm a mental health therapist, and then I'm a medical sales representative.
What are your passions?
My passion is helping people, learning. I'm constantly trying to learn, and it's what I think drives everything in life. So learning and travel is an amazing way to learn, and meeting people and hearing their stories. So that's what fuels me.
Why did you decide to start traveling?
I started traveling because I grew up in a very, very small town, and everyone was very similar, the same, and I wanted to see the rest of the world and experience a big city and learn. I didn't feel like I knew enough. My parents told me stories of different places. My father was born in Germany, lived in a refugee camp for a while, and my mother is from Italy, and so hearing about these places I wanted to go explore. So I broke my back when I was 15 years old in a snowboarding competition, and I didn't think it would be possible to travel after that, especially not outside of the US. I was a competitive snowboarder in New Hampshire when I was growing up. In New Hampshire, there's amazing athletes and coaches for skiing and snowboarding.
So, did you have aspirations to go to the Olympics or anything like that?
I think any person that is snowboarding and is doing competitions dreams, wants to get as good as they possibly can, which means the Olympics. So, yeah, I was still pretty young.
Yeah. How did it affect you when you got in an accident? Did you have to go through a trial period of, like, maybe any emotional things you had to get over, or was it?
How did my accident affect me emotionally? Is there anything I had to get over? I'd say that it was a long process. I'm really lucky to have a lot of friends and family that were immediately at the hospital. At the beginning, it was a lot of like, you can walk again, you can do this. We spent a lot of energy on that and learning how to use a wheelchair all over again. Luckily, my friends also got in wheelchairs, and it became more fun, which meant so much to me that they, didn't make it this horrible thing. They made it a game that we were playing in wheelchairs. And then I just learned more and more, and all the things I used to do, I learned how to do from a wheelchair. And so my life was less about walking again and more about just learning and living and trying new things. And
so you had a really tight-knit group of friends and family that was there for you to support you.
Yeah, and even some friends I thought were friends weren't, and then friends that I had lost came back.
Yeah, okay.
And so it really shows you who your friends are and who are the amazing people in your community. And that's why I think I do the social work that I do today, is because my community meant everything in me having the outlook and having the life that I do now. And so I want to be that community for many people.
Do you have any advice for someone who might have gone through anything tragic, anything traumatic? Either it can be a disability or it can be a death of a family. Like, what would you tell them to get yourself back up in the game?
So what would I tell someone that's been through something tragic?
Yeah.
And it's so hard to say in like a few sentences, because I literally spend sometimes years with clients in therapy, helping them learn healthier thought patterns and perspectives. And always, though, you can always find something that you learned or to be grateful for from every experience. I know it sounds, how can I be grateful for becoming paralyzed? But it has given me a new perspective on life, a new gratification for my arms instead of worrying about my legs. So if you can choose a learning perspective from any experience, that you will be able to empathize with people that have been through what you've been through. It'll give you strength. If you take that mindset and you really try to believe it and make it true, even if sometimes you don't feel like it is, but that's your mission, is to make you stronger, even if it doesn't feel like it sometimes. You can make that happen.
So this might be a tough question,
Yes.
but if you had to go back in time, would you stop this from happening, or do you think this was like? So some people say there's a purpose for everything.
Absolutely.
Or would you say like, no, I would change things?
I would not change things, because I have. Once you know that you can get through something really, really difficult, the feeling that no matter what life brings you, I'm going to be okay, I'm going to be happy, is freedom. And just being able to appreciate things and I meet more people, and I think it's a very rich way to go through life, and so I would not take it back at all, not at all.
What do you love about traveling?
What I love about traveling?
Yeah.
Meeting people. I love meeting people.
Yeah, hey.
And hearing their stories and why they travel and where they've been, and of course seeing how people live differently. I always gain a lot of gratitude. I think coming from the United States, we are very privileged and we have so much to be grateful for, and coming to other countries where they don't have as much, it helps you remember, like, you might be having a bad day, but you know, you have so much if you're from the US, just rights. There's so many things. It's not perfect, but traveling helps you realize how much you have.
Yeah. What's been your favorite place to visit so far?
There's no one favorite. Every place has its thing about it that I love it for. So like Chiang Mai, we did the cooking class today, which was absolutely one of my favorite things on my trip. Kayaking in the islands of Phang in southern Thailand was beautiful and amazing. We'll wait for the drums. Every place I've been has had something that I've loved about it, and no one is better than the other per se. They each have things that I love about them. I was really lucky to study abroad in Costa Rica, Mexico, and Spain, and live there and really get to travel from those places. And then this trip has been Europe and Southeast Asia, and I can tell you things I love about each place. So my suggestion is that go and see as many places as possible and stay there for a while.
Why?
Why stay there for a while? You really get to learn a culture more. You are immersed in it. You are meeting more people. You're hearing more stories. You're not just doing the touristy stuff. I think it's good to do a lot of it because it's popular for a reason, because it's usually really amazing and significant. So do that, but also spend some time just sitting back and watching and meeting people and doing more of the local routine.
So a lot of people think traveling kind of like is the cure to everything. It's a cure to your sadness, it's a cure to your depression, that you're gonna come over here and you're gonna have an aha moment. Has traveling changed you in any way? Have you learned anything from your traveling? Have you had your eat, pray, love moment?
Okay, so no such thing as an eat, pray, love moment. I actually don't really remember the movie or the book much, but you are gonna be the same person you were at home. So for example, I am late and kind of disorganized, and I am late and disorganized here. That's something I'm constantly working on, whether I'm working on that here or working on it there. Sometimes when you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, that is where you learn, and so I do think there is value and you will learn. I think you have to create opportunities to get an aha moment, like maybe you're here and you're reading something or expanding perspective, so you have to be learning. So if you make the goal to learn, you're going to get closer to it, but it just magically happens to you.
Are there any lessons you're going to take here and take from your travels and take home with you?
A lot of times those lessons take a while to sink in. You don't get them right away. It's usually, so there's the having an experience, and then there's processing an experience, and that's where the learning happens. So many people have things happen to them, but if you don't really think about what you learned and how and why, you're not really learning from it. So I'm still here, so I'm still working on traveling every single day, and I haven't really reflected on how this has changed me. I had never seen Southeast Asia, so I've learned a lot about the culture.
What is happiness to you?
What is happiness to me? Happiness is gratitude. That is the best and most fulfilling way to feel happiness for me, is to look at my surroundings, and even if I have to say, at least I'm not in the hospital like I used to be, or I can use my arms, or it's a beautiful day, the sun's out, or whatever it is. That to me, that's my own personal thing. That does not work for everyone, and that's okay. But for me, that's happiness.
What's the proper term to use for someone who's in a wheelchair, by the way?
Person who uses a wheelchair. There's a lot of debate even within the community about that. Disabled person with a disability. So it's always person first.
Okay.
And then usually you can say a person who's blind, a person who uses a wheelchair.
Okay.
A person so person first.
Okay.
A person who has a disability. My own personal opinion on it, I think the word disabled is not really fair. I'm able to do a ton of things and more than most people. I sit on my ass all day, but I do more than most people. So I personally don't like the word. It does not bother me when anyone uses it because obviously that's a common word. But
okay, so how does a person in a wheelchair get along traveling in somewhere like Southeast Asia? That with the narrow streets and the narrow sidewalks, and a lot of times they're crowded and filled with vendors and other tourists. How do you get through that?
Yeah, so I'm not going to pretend like it's perfectly wheelchair accessible. It's not, and that doesn't mean you can't do it, because a lot of people tried to discourage me from traveling. They said, oh, you can't go there. It is not wheelchair accessible, and that I think was a horrible thing for so many people to do. Maybe they didn't realize what they were doing, but never discourage anyone from traveling. You can be honest and encouraging. They say, honestly, it is not wheelchair accessible. It's going to be difficult. You're going to have to go in the street sometimes because you can't get onto the sidewalk. You're going to have to get help getting downstairs because there's not going to be a ramp all the time.
Yeah.
But it's completely possible, and they should say, it's going to be difficult, but it's worth it.
Can you do this being a really prideful person, or do you have to know how to ask for help or be willing to reach out or take people's hands?
You could drag your body up and down, and you could probably do it on your own, but I'm actually really grateful that I love asking for help, because a lot of the people that I have met is because I did ask for help. And then I got to talk to them, and I made that connection, and I love meeting people and connecting with people. And so I like asking for help. I don't do it too often, but it is, for me, it's been 100% necessary, because there's things that there's no way I could have done. I think if you don't want to ask for help, you're going to miss out on a lot. Yeah,
I agree. How does your mom feel about you traveling?
My mom, I love my mom. She is used to it by now, because I've already been doing a lot. Back when I first was like, okay, I'm gonna move to California, or was I moving to Spain? I forgot, one of the places I was moving. She's tried to say, no, you really, I was so far from home, and I said, well, you did it when you were my age. So she said, well, it's different. You have the wheelchair.
Yeah.
As soon as she said that, she just gave me permission and purpose.
Yeah.
End of conversation. I was like, oh, okay, really, Mom? So now you know I'm going, right?
Yeah, I'm sure she's proud of you, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm extremely fortunate to have such a cool mom.
Yeah.
Love you, Mom.
What is like the biggest advice you would give somebody, anybody? Like if there was a 12-year-old sitting here asking you to give me some advice about life, what is the best thing you can teach that person?
Practice gratitude and be flexible with your perspective, and just keep learning.
Learning is the best thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say? Last words?
Shamik is awesome, and I had so much fun talking to you, listening to you, and traveling, and you've been super helpful. And travel, people. Get out there, meet people, and believe that there's good in the world. And it'll come to you. I have met amazing people in places, people that weren't safe. And maybe they weren't, but I met people that helped. So believe there's good and be the good.
Do you have any social media that you want to promote?
Oh yeah, so I am making videos about wheelchair travel, because I don't want anyone to be discouraged to travel. I want to show them that it is possible. It may not be wheelchair accessible. I'll show you the ways that it's not, but I'll show you also how to get around them and the different adventures that I've been on, because I want more people to be able to experience what I have done. So please check out the videos, learn a little bit. People think it's amazing when I put my wheelchair in my car, and that's like the least cool thing I do. So watch all the cool things I get to do, the people I meet. I'd really appreciate it. Share it if you can. So.
Did you actually say what the channel was?
Oh, it's my name, so maybe can you put a link? I don't know how
Yeah, just say it. This would be a,
so my name is Allison Nicola, and you can find the YouTube channel.
Yeah, and the link below.
Say what?
Say in the link below. You can find the link below.
I don't know.
Subscribe, guys.
I'm still learning. I will, in December when I go home, I'll have time to edit. This is a learning process. I have no idea how to do a lot of it, but I can help to do it, right?
Yeah. Alright, cool. Yay.